Finding the fun, that starts getting structured, because then you have to like, okay, we're gonna make this, and we're gonna make this, and we're gonna make this, because this is the fun parts that we found. You know.
No, that makes sense. When you do level design, what does that mean?
So level design is taking. It's like the play space that you're in, the visual environment that you're playing in. It's kind of defining how the player moves through the space, what encounters are going to happen. You know, if they're attacking the enemies, where do they find their loot? Um, and then an art team will pretty much go through that and make it look good.
So
You know, so you're
like,
just defining the space.
are you like bound to like stuff like lore and shit, or is it more on like mechanics and structure?
A lot of it's mechanics, gameplay mechanics, player movement. How does the player move through the environment? A lot of times a story will come in and be like, "Hey, we have this really specific lore that we want to put in," and then the level designer will work with them. That, okay, we can do this to the map, and do this to show what you're trying to show through your story. But yeah, it's pretty much us how defining the play space before art comes in and just like, you know, makes it look really good.
So you would be like the guy who like decides how many houses are in a place in Skyrim and how many floors are in each
Yeah,
house and if there's towers and walls and then
yeah,
somebody
and
else is
I'd
gonna.
place all that too in the layout. What's the layout of the city? You know, how is it placed?
Do you do like the world
Uh,
maps and shit too? Or is it more like specific
um,
locations?
for so as level designers, usually specific locations, and you get like story to design the world map. You have a whole story team doing that, but then like yeah, the actual physical area that the player is walking in is that's level design.
That's crazy to think. Like, so you're the one, you don't like necessarily put stuff on the table. You decide that there's gonna be a table.
I say there's going to be a table here, and maybe the objective or something's here, you
Right.
know, and then art will go through and be like, and this is what he wanted.
Ah, it's super dope.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of like logic shits, and then you just kind of have to like
yeah.
figure out ways. So you're like the maze guy.
I guess you could say it that way. Yeah.
Have you ever like?
Back in the day, though, in modding, I had to do everything. I had to do the layout and also art it and do everything. But now, when you're with a team of like 100 people, there's a team specifically built to make it look pretty, so you don't have to worry about doing any of that. You just focus on what your specialty is, and you know,
Yeah, it sounds a lot better than having to do it all. I imagine this. What's your least favorite
it's
part
a
of
lot
game
of work.
design?
Doing the artwork.
So you're not a fan of making the cups look pretty for Skyrim's table.
No, I'm a fan of get it done and here you go. Do what you want with it.
I respect that. I feel like you and Ismail would be like peas in a pod in that world of just getting shit done. And like I totally do it. I kind of like I like it from like a puzzle perspective because I met somebody once who made mazes and they used to put like keys and doors and you'd have to like go,
Yep.
and so it's like that kind of shit but just like way
Mm-hmm.
more complicated.
You can look at it like that. Like if you were to play a Call of Duty map, that environment that you're in was built by a level designer and then arted by an artist. The level designer defined where all the buildings and bridges and places the player can go, and then an artist came in and made it look good.
So in theory you could just like also go ahead and do this in the metaverse because basically what you're
Oh
doing
yeah,
is like,
super easy.
because like I fucked around with one of them things and somebody made this whole like experience where you could go through this like haunted fucking
Mm-hmm.
asylum shit and there was keys and crap and I'm like, yeah, I could conceive this from like a project management point of view, but like you're the guy that
Yeah, it
actually
is. It is.
does the like, because that's what I do. I make project plans, and then you guys come through and do the things, and I go do quality
And
work after.
in a gaming studio, you have a production team which goes and talks to all the leads, or and gets all the tasks needed to complete whatever goal they're trying to complete, right? And then they go through and talk to the leads and be like, "Hey, we have this much time to do it. Here's the task that we're able to do. Assign them to your workers and get them done."
Yeah.
Which is, I love game design because always I'm doing something different every single day, which I really like. It's not always the same thing, unless it's a big project or something.
Like, how long does it take to design a level?
So to design a level, depending on the size, I can get like a good block out done in about a week. But then to get it arted probably takes about 2 or 3 months. And then, you know.
So then, like, people like test that, it runs through QA, and then they come back and they're like, because like my cousin did a whole bunch of QA testing, because like
Yep.
Ubisoft's up here, so like they hire
Yep.
and a couple others, and like then you get their notes and run the fucking mods to whatever to make it a little bit
Yep.
tighter and whatnot.
Yeah, QA will come through and be like, "Hey, I broke this, this, and this, and this." And be like, "Okay, fix." Yep.
Yeah, that's wildly cool. I don't know. I haven't talked to that many people who like actually do a lot of like interesting shit in video games. I've talked to people who do. I'm not gonna say QA is not the most interesting, but QA is kind of the most accessible role in I find the QA in the video game world.
It's the best way to get into the business.
Did you ever do QA?
I think. I haven't. I must suspect to people who do QA because I know what they go through.
Yeah, I've heard like crazy stories of it. Like I've had friends
Yeah.
who QA like big name games and stuff, and they're like, "Nah, bro, you think it's fun, but it's not. You'll just be like get
No.
told, walk around the room without jumping for 3 hours and see what doesn't work."
Yeah. Fun.
And then you do that, but then
And then write it down.
yeah, but then like when that game comes out, you know every fucking hack, and you like
Yeah.
for like a month you're cool.